Hi and welcome to another quick video from the Grove Studio. I wanted to take a few minutes today to talk a little bit about things that you can do with sky replacements to add a little more variety in your skies. And we're going to use this mountain photo as the sample photo to work with so I can show you. Now the reason I thought to do this, and I'm going to pull up the sky replacement dialog box while I'm talking about this. The reason I thought to do this is because we tend to have those couple of skies that are sort of our go-to sky for sky replacements. And I don't do sky replacements often, but when I do, I have two or three skies that I tend to kind of go to. And the one thing that I try to avoid is I try to avoid it looking fake. And so one thing is I never want the sky to look like it's the exact same thing pasted in a bunch of different photos. So to avoid that, I try to mix up the sky a little bit. I try to do some changes and tweak it a little bit so that it can maybe look a little more natural, or it can just look a little different than the previous photo or the one after it. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Now we have the sky replacement dialog box here, and it's just going to default to whatever the last one was that you used. For me, it happened to be this sort of dramatic dusk sky with a lot of beautiful colors in it, but Photoshop has a pretty decent selection of some skies here for you, but you can also add skies to it if you have ones that you've photographed yourself, or maybe you've gotten some royalty-free stock images online, or maybe you've purchased some sky library images. However you have gotten some photos, you probably have some, you can always load them in. So for this video, we're going to stick to this sky just because this happens to be the one that Photoshop loaded in here for me. So you can, of course, move the sky around. So here, you can kind of move it to get a little variety, but you want to make sure that you're not having these little gaps in the area between the replaced sky and your original. So you want to make sure that you don't have any of these little gaps on the sides. But you can always do that. But what I like to do is I like to use the scale and I like to flip. And you can see, especially if you have a sky that is not very uniform, these are really great tools to use to kind of mix it up. So this sky is actually a great example because it's not symmetrical at all. There's a lot of variation in it. So if I were to leave it like this, it looks fake. It doesn't look real at all. So I'm going to try flipping it first, and it's a little bit off. But so instantly I'm like, okay, this is better because now I have the brighter side of the sky where the sun is on the correct side of the photo, meaning that now the light in the sky looks like it's hitting the same direction as the light on the subject in the photo, which is the mountain. So this is already a big improvement just from flipping, and that's just this checkbox right here. You can flip it, and then once you flip it, you can move it around and kind of see. See, I would not want to go that far because that's a little too dark, but I want to get it probably right to the edge here. And there we go. And kind of make use of that lighter side of the sky because that's showing the same directional light that I need for the mountain. So that's one tool. The other tool is to scale. And scaling it's literally just enlarging or shrinking the sky image that's being dropped in. So I tend to go bigger. So if you enlarge it, you'll see it just makes it bigger. And then what that does is it gives you more freedom to move it around, but it mixes up a little bit what these clouds can look like. So suddenly there's more room for me to maybe go like that. Or maybe there's a little bit more room for me to go like that and have less of this dark color. Or if I want to scale it up even more, I can have like none of that deeper blue. and I can just have those sort of dark stripy clouds. So it gives a little bit more option of being selective with just specific areas of the sky that you want to focus on if you enlarge it. Obviously, you don't want to enlarge too much because then you're going to lose some of that clarity and you're going to potentially get some pixelation or a little softness in that sky. So you want to avoid going too big, but the option is there. And of course, you have the option to scale down if you really wanted to, but typically this isn't really something that you're going to do. If you're going to do this to kind of change up the sky, you're typically going to scale up. So those are my two favorite tools for really taking advantage of the sky replacement and using it to the fullest extent that I can. You know, trying to kind of use one or two skies that are my go-to favorites, but avoiding that look of it being the exact same copy sky from one photo to the next. These are ways that you can kind of mix it up a little bit and personalize what you're showing and how you're showing that sky. I hope this has been helpful for you. It's just another little tool so that I can make sure that you're using all of these wonderful tools in the software that you have at your disposal. And if you have anything else that you use that you love to do with the sky replacements, leave a comment under the video. Let me know. This is not a tool that I use very often, so I'm sure there's a lot to it that I haven't really used much. So please add your comment at the bottom. If you like the video, please click like. And if you want to get updated on new videos as they get released, please hit subscribe for this channel. Thank you so much, and I will see you at the next video.